TheBitzr.
So, I don't know if you can see this, but it's kind of snowing in the middle of October. Not even the middle, dude. It's like the second week of October. This is insane. I have to walk to work in this. Anyway, I thought I'd just show you that real fast. Just wanted to show you that, Anyway. Hey strangers, Bitsy Tandem back with another episode of the TheBitzr Babbles. Today I'm going to start like a mini-series within a series, Seriesception, where I talk about creating characters. I love original characters. I can't not create characters. If there is an in-depth character building in a video game, I will spend hours making a character. I love it. I can't get enough of it. I love, like, I make the character and then I decide, like, I feel them out and it's like, who are they? What is their name? What do they do? How did they grow up? What is going to make, like, my decisions in the game are influenced by who this person is. If they would go and join, say, the Dark Brotherhood, then of course that's the main part of the game. But if they're like a good guy, then they'll probably destroy the Dark Brotherhood. Like, I don't just do random things in a game. Sometimes I will make a character just to do random things, but usually I'll have a good character, a bad character, a lawful neutral, chaotic neutral, sometimes a true neutral. I usually don't do true neutral just because it can make things a little difficult, but I'll definitely make a chaotic neutral and a neutral good. That's pretty standard for me to have at least those two characters. And then I'll make like specialized characters like a necromancer or like a princess who is shipwrecked and has to now find her way home and stuff. And I just go off on these tangents. It's great. I love it. So I'm starting a series where we talk about characters, right? Right. And the reason I want to do this is because creating characters doesn't come quite as naturally to everybody, and that's okay. Math and writing doesn't come naturally to me, but creating characters and stories and whole entire worlds just by looking at a random smudge on my bathtub, true story, that's something I've always been really it's just who I am. It's just a part of me. So I want to share tips and tricks and what makes a good original character and how to make them more original than, say, your standard magical girl. And for this first episode of this mini-series, Seriesception thingamajigger, I haven't quite figured it out. It's still the TheBitzr Babbles, it's just OC time, I guess? Something like that. Anyway, for the first episode, this one, we're gonna talk about Eliana. Why not? My main character and maiden in disguise, Eliana Adelaide. Now, Ellie was born in June 22nd, 1799, which should make her 14 in my book, which is based in 1813. And the reason my dates are so odd for a slice of life comic that looks very shoujo, looks very shoujo, and standard school life, is because it's not based in our world at all. Like, it's completely different. The world she lives on is called Eoterra. She grew up in Linwood Theta, which is a city that's kind of like an inlet coast area, where it's got like a nice open, like it's like the opposite of a peninsula. It's got like a ton of beach area. And that's on the ANSMC is the continent. So it's the Allied Nation States' main continent. So it's one of the biggest continents on Eoterra. I'll get into more of that later, and eventually I will have maps and get, like, my side story I'm making gets a lot more into the lore of my world. I would really love if you check that out. It is not available for free anywhere. You have to either become my patron and you'll get digital editions or physical editions depending on which one you choose, or wait until it comes out. The official release should be sometime in January or February of next year. And I want to have, it'll be digital and physical copies you can buy. And that's called The Life of an Average Yotaran Male, following one of Eliana's classmates. Anyway, plug aside. So Ellie grew up really close to her father. Her mother died at age 2, and so she really never got to know her, or so she can't really miss her because she never really knew her. I mean, obviously there's some deeper psychological issues that losing a mother would have. Her older sister Serena gets a lot more pain and issues from losing her mother, being older, knowing her mother, being very close. So that's something that I will get into a little bit. I don't want Maiden in Disguise to be very deep and dramatic, but I will have some grown-up moments in it where it's like, okay, we're people and we have issues and we're working through them. Let's, you know, see if we can't figure this out together, kind of thing. My next series, which is all shush shush on the down low, super secret, will be more dramatic, but I still would not call it a drama, because I don't want my stories to make you depressed. They are here to make you smile. I want you to feel uplifted and happy. You're like, oh, if they can come together after all this, you know, baggage and stuff that has hurt their relationship, then maybe there's a chance for me and this other person. Or just read it and you're like, man, I want to go out and do something and create something, and like, I want to make you smile, I want to make you feel good, I want to make you uplifted. And I think Eliana's a great main character to do that, because she's pretty lighthearted, she's pretty funny and silly. She's incredibly shy, which I think is great, because I actually love this comment on one of the people that bought my book on Amazon. They said that I captured the angst of a young teenage girl perfectly, and I was so happy. It's like, yes, Ellie is definitely angsty. She's, you know, got all these hormones flowing around, and she's like, I want to play video games, and I want to be a, you know, she's got this like torn where like, I want to be a dude, and I want to be this awesome, you know, half-dragon man in-game who's just a total, like, alpha. And then she's also got this, but I really also want to just be, you know, a girl who falls in love. So it's kind of fun writing her and drawing her. And, where was I? Man, I babble a lot. As I do. Oh, so Ellie didn't just find this video game one day. Her father works at the company, not as a game creator, he does more of the business side of things, but everybody at the company got like early alpha access, so she got to play at a very young age with her dad on his alpha character. And as it progressed into beta, she was one of the select few that got a beta key and was able to play the game. And after playing it with her dad so much, she's become addicted, she loves it, the game is her life. Like, it's really, she's got two sides of her. Elrond and Ellie are, like, they are the same person. She just expresses herself differently behind the screen than she does in public because of that social anxiety and stuff. In the beta, she became the second highest level character in the game. The first highest level is her current rival, where she won last year and is currently the highest level, and they keep going back and forth, and I'm gonna get into more of that in the coming chapters of Maiden in Disguise. Woo! Things to look forward to. So that's a really big part of who she is, and the more her friend Allie gets to know her, the more that nerdy other character side of her is gonna start coming out. And she gains more confidence as she learns, like, people are accepting her for who she is, and it's, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but I want to tell you more. I have the next, I have like 22 books mapped out, and I've written through halfway through book 3. Yeah, I think. And then I already, of course, I know how it ends already. But I won't tell you. So Ellie's kind of base emotion is optimistic, happy. She is nervous and shy, but she's still like glad that she's her. She likes her, you know, home situation's not ideal, but she knows it could be worse, and she's very appreciative that she has a loving father, and eventually throughout the story, her and her sister will grow closer. Obviously, if you've read it, you know she's thin, she's pale, she's very small. She's small, like Bitsy, like me, except smaller, because I'm not nearly as small as I was when I was in high school. But when I was in high school, I got mistaken for a boy a lot, and that's kind of where that part came from. Was I wanted to kind of make it aware to people that if you're being mistaken for a boy, you're not the only one, and it's okay, and if you want to be mistaken for a boy, great, and if you don't, it's no big deal. I had a shaved head twice, and a mohawk. What I expect? But it was never something that bothered me. Like, I always wanted to be a boy growing up. Like, I had 3 cousins that lived next door to me. They're basically my brothers, and I just always wanted to be a boy. I liked being stronger than them. I liked being, you know, I'm the oldest. Well, second oldest, but that's only by like 2 months and 8 days, so I'm the oldest. Anyway, I liked being athletic. Before I got all this like estrogen and crap, I was running track, I still do ballet sometimes, but you know, I was on the jungle gym monkey bars. I was full of energy. It was insane. I was a little monkey bouncing everywhere. How did we get to me? I'm talking about Ellie. Anyway, babbling! I'm gonna try and keep this on Ellie. If you're interested in my life story, let me know in the comments and we'll do a whole babble about it. It'll be great. Alright. So obviously her hair is a little scruffy, a little wavy. She has this like habit of calling other people that she doesn't know, like strangers, NPCs. I call you guys strangers because we're stranger than other people, which is great. Get it? Because we're strange. Stay strange. We're stranger. Anyway, she calls people NPCs. So obviously as a hardcore gamer, Ellie plays through the night all the time. She will either wake up super disheveled or forget to even go to sleep, and usually when that happens, it's already time to go to school, and she just doesn't bother brushing her hair, which, from experience, you should just brush your hair. It helps. Yeah, brushed hair is nicer because then you don't, like, get caught on things as often. Yeah, pro tip for life. So Ellie is very bad at a good handful of things, as most humans are. She is not really artistic. Like, she's got an imagination, but she doesn't make art. She doesn't, like, she can't paint, she can't really draw. It's not something she's into. She'd much rather just get in a game and be there. Obviously, she does not know a thing about fashion, or sports. And Ellie has never been one for making friends. Back in junior high, everyone just thought she was weird because she looked like a boy, and everyone just, you know, she had a really bad middle school experience and didn't have any friends. She kept to herself. She wouldn't talk to anyone. In high school now, she does a lot more hygiene than you see. Like, she's taking showers, she's brushing her teeth, she's, you know, washing her clothes, whereas like in middle school all she would do is play video games and sulk in school and then play video games and then sulk, and it wasn't like easy to make friends like that. So she comes into high school and she's like, I'm gonna do it, you know? And she goes into class and meets Allie, and Allie is very bubbly, she's very personable, she likes talking to people, and but she had a hard time making friends in middle school as well for other reasons, which we'll get into in book 2? No, 3. We'll get into that in book 3, I'm pretty sure. So when she met Allie, or when Allie met Ellie, she was like, oh, this girl's gonna be sitting next to me in class, I should at least get to know her. So they end up talking in class and getting yelled at, but that little bonding moment kind of sparked a friendship. So they started eating lunches together, and now they're starting going and like hanging out after school, and Ellie's never had a friend like that. She's so not used to it. And Allie's used to having fakey friends and like, oh yeah, let's go out and do something, but we don't really care about you. So it's nice to like, both of them, it's like, it's not just like an outward friendship, they're actually growing bonds and becoming, you know, true friends who will stick through, true friends who will stick to each other through anything, which I really want to show the growth of that throughout the comic series. So when you're making a character, especially a main character, you really want to try and flesh them out beforehand. Having like a list and something you can refer back and forth to, which I've been doing this whole time, is really nice. Especially when you have a story with a ton of characters in it, and you really got to keep track of everybody. You need to keep track of their likes, their dislikes, what they're scared of. Like Ellie, she's not afraid of spiders, but she's terrified of snakes. And when they're playing games and stuff, I have to remember who's afraid of what, and what's going to prompt reactions from people. Some of her favorite things include, like, you know, there's like triple meat pizza, but she's like all the meat pizza. She wants it to be as greasy and terrible for her as possible. Ellie is one of those iron stomach types. I am not, unfortunately. I cannot eat. I just cannot eat. It's pretty sad. But anyway, Ellie. Her favorite TV show, which will be showing up in the main comic and in my side story, is called Neko Stratus Quantum Link Force. It's like Cat Power Rangers. It's the best thing ever! Neko Stratus is the main kitty. Yeah. And so Neko Stratus Quantum Link Force is one of those like random ideas when you're with your friends. In this case, I was with my cousin, and he just kind of spouted it out, and I'm like, yeah, we're doing that. I'm putting it in my story. I do that a lot. And actually, when I watch other things, like One Piece, I'm like, what here is planned, and what here is sitting in a bar drinking with your friends? Because it's so true how much a random, amazing idea can influence your story. Like, I referenced One Piece because their telephones are snails. They're the Den Mushi. And I just feel like that's gotta be sitting in the bar with your friend, like, man, I need to do something, but they can't just use telephones, that's boring. And he's like, snails! And he's like, dude, that's a great idea, I'm gonna call it Den Mushi. And it's a thing now. So, keep your eye out for little sprinkles of just like things that don't quite fit but are so great they just had to be there and then they end up fitting later. Those are probably some sort of random occurrence, which makes some of the best stories ever. So from looking at my notes, we've pretty much gone over most of Ellie's characteristics and just kind of like fleshed her out a little bit to you guys, explained some stuff. which is good for our first episode. It's already getting kind of on the longer side, but for the future of these, I want to go into, you know, what makes a character work and what makes a character likable, as well as disliking, and I will be telling you guys about some of my top favorite characters other people have created and some of my least favorite characters in the history of ever. Oh, there's some characters out there that I legitimately hate, and I don't use that word because I hate it. No, it's true though. I try not to use it because it's a very strong emotional word, and you know, if I stub my toe, it's like I don't actually hate the thing I stubbed, especially if it's like a box of donuts. I'm just upset at that moment. So I try not to use that, but there are some characters out there that I don't know if they did this on purpose to make them just so horrible and awful, or if they didn't and I just have different tastes than other people, which is true. Everybody's got different tastes, and things that I love and don't like are could be completely different than yours. Yeah, I want to tell you guys more about characters. So we're gonna do more of these cool OC things, more world building stuff, and it's something I'm very excited about, so I hope you're excited about it. Oh, 'cause I love stories! Anyway, stay strange, guys. It's always good to be different and fun and, like, awesome. As long as you're not hurting anyone else, you're okay in my book. Bitsy out. No, I'm not doing that. Stay strange, guys, and I'll see you next time.